We have a very concerning weather pattern coming into the tropics very soon, everyone. And I'm not talking about these outlooks. We are expecting these outlooks. We've been talking about this here for a long time at this channel. So if you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe and follow along for updates. But what's happening over here in the Northeast is Invest 95L. It will be going towards unfavorable conditions soon, but we are seeing a trend of a second one forming. This will be non-tropical. It'll be front-induced from this front coming through, but it could turn into tropical characteristics. Now, non-tropical just means thunderstorms in a big, broad area, and tropical means you'll have thunderstorms around the center, and it'll start strengthening to something even worse. But I'm seeing something form up along the East Coast, even a trend that could bring storms towards y'all, maybe even some winds later down the road. Plus what's happening over here in the MDR, the main development region. We're expecting this. This one's going northwest. This will be a fish storm, and so will this first one. But what's coming right behind this is very concerning, everyone. So happy Sunday, everybody. Mark again here at Weatherman Plus. I may do an afternoon update for today if I see this expanding even more. Let me go through the latest information. So first, we'll go through your latest tropical update, and then we'll go through your severe weather forecast, everybody. So first, we have Invest 95L. It is at 50% in 48 hours, 50% in the next 7 days. Now you can see it is showing that a non-tropical area of low pressure is forming right off the coast of North Carolina. It is bringing disorganized thunderstorms. Now, this could bring a subtropical depression or storm while it moves east-northeast around 10 miles per hour. But after Monday, it goes into unfavorable conditions and it will weaken back down. So whether it forms or not, it will just be another name off the list. There's no threat to anyone on that. Plus, what's over here in the MDR, it is at a 30% chance in the next 7 days, while it moves generally west-northwest through the central tropical Atlantic. Not showing this as a threat neither, everyone. Showing that we're going to have our high pressure way back here by Azores, and this is going to swing around. But showing also right after this weather pattern that this is going to stretch out to a Bermuda high, and it's going to start bringing tropical waves in this direction where we can see tropical storms, even our first hurricane. Now, our sea surface temperatures are very warm in the Gulf, in the Western Caribbean, over here in the Atlantic by the Bahamas, also over here in the southern MDR going towards the Eastern Caribbean. And you can see right where that system's forming over the East Coast, very much above average water. So it could form really quick, but then it's going into unfavorable conditions. Now you can see here with the European, just for a chance for a tropical depression, it gets down towards 100% chance in 24 hours to become a tropical depression, or maybe even a short-lived storm, while what goes into the MDR does make that west-northwest push, not showing a threat to anyone. What comes behind this is our threat. Also seeing that we got some late formation still close to home where we get something forming up from these tropical waves, so they do need to be watched, everyone. Now, chances for a tropical cyclone, you can see this. It is all the way up towards a 90 to 100% for that system from Invest 95L right off the East Coast. But you can see what's coming through the MDR starts gaining an intensity as it goes towards the 10th and 11th. Now, remember all my last reports, everybody. Once we get to the 10th and 11th, this is where it's going to start gaining an intensity for these waves to go further towards the west-northwest and bring an issue. And this is where the storm can go either into the Gulf, right by the Bahamas, or ride right up the East Coast. And it's going all the way up towards a 40, even a 50% chance for something to form as we go from the 11th through the 18th still. That's also when our best chance for a tropical storm to form up from those waves as it goes by the Lesser Antilles and the Turks and Caicos and goes by the Bahamas right along that East Coast. We could see something very close towards the East Coast. So let's go through each possibility first. I don't want to leave anything out. You can see right here from Invest 95L in all agreements with all these ensembles that it will go further north into the Atlantic. No threat to anyone. But you can also see what's happening over here from that wave going into the Atlantic, showing still it will be a fish storm on both of these. You might have to watch this one for Bermuda, but you can see also on these ensembles, it could pull a little bit tighter into the Atlantic. Also, it could catch the high pressure expanding further towards the west. So we are seeing a little area right here where it could do something tricky. We will watch it. It more likely will be a fish storm, but just to make sure, keep our heads up. And you see there's a few ensembles showing it going towards the west. I don't think that's going to be anything to do with this wave. I think that would be the next wave and possible late formation that you need to watch. You can also see the trend on Weather Next Generation, agreeing also that that more likely will be that fish storm. And you can see all the members in agreement right here as it builds up a low pressure, more likely will go out through the Atlantic. There's two different areas where this can go on, so we will stay updated. I have seen these waves do this little weird wave all the way towards us before, where it was not coming towards us in the beginning, so I will keep you updated. But you can also see with the Euro AI that after that, the next wave after that, the dust is going to be further towards the north and it has more room to breathe. The only question we're going to have with this wave is it still going to be an Azores high, where this potentially could be another fish storm, or is it going to stretch out and help this wave go further towards the west, where it could be a potential problem? And you can see they're coming right behind that back to back. The only question is, where is this Atlantic high pressure going to be? Another trend that I'm seeing is that we need to watch this front. We could get front-induced systems still, be non-tropical, and have a problem. You can see here with the GFS. Also, what's coming off to MDR after the 10th could be another late formation storm. It is trending with GFS as well. But you see this in 72 hours, in 3 days, showing you could get something strengthening, maybe a depression out there in Atlantic, while you get another front-induced system. You can see this also with the GEOS satellite. So it is trending between the two, that something could form up and come back towards the U.S. and maybe bring later impacts. So if you're in North Carolina, if you're in Virginia or the Delmarva, because this could easily go further towards the north, be aware of possible front-induced systems that could come out of that. Now, that could bring stronger winds. It could bring a tornado threat and some heavy rainfall. Also shows that next wave coming through might have problems with the dust, but as it goes further towards the west, this is where it could strengthen up late and be another problem once again so far for the Carolinas. Matter of fact, as you look at the latest update that just come out with the GFS of 6Z, still seeing potential for double systems to form, Invest 95L and the next one, whether it's a weak system, a group of disorganized thunderstorms, still need to watch that. But it shows that wave coming right behind it is still going to go towards a west-northwest. Now, what we can take out of this, because this isn't a forecast, it's just showing what's around the corner, is that this high pressure more than likely will be expanding after the 10th and start bringing these tropical waves further towards the west. Now, the latest update with GFS shows an even stronger system going towards the east coast. I'm not saying that's going to be a forecast. It's just something that we really need to watch. Then the GEOS satellite, which is trending with the GFS, is seeing something very tricky. It's showing that the high pressure could stay there and keep that second system become tropical and just start strengthening right offshore. And whether it goes in a certain direction, we don't know. That would be further down the road. But I do expect to see a lot more outlooks than just these two little outlooks that we have for right now. And you also can see with the Ensemble members that it is still down the road, but it is a wide array of what could happen with that system. It could go further towards the Bahamas. It could be a potential fish storm as well. It's going to be all about timing on what this high pressure is going to do. It's going to direct all the traffic. Now, the part I don't like is some of these do a little wobble and eventually make it towards the U.S. or close towards the U.S. And that's concerning because it gives it a long time to strengthen. I will keep you updated. You can see the latest with Weather Next Generation showing it could be a potential fish storm. Now, this is down the road. This is going to change back and forth. I will keep you updated. Because when you look at the ensembles, you can see once you go past the 10th, that's where these tropical waves has a better chance, either late formation possible. We need to watch out for that as well. But what's coming by potentially Lesser Antilles going towards the Bahamas, maybe even towards the East Coast, is trending more and more with these ensembles of what's going to happen after the 10th. A lot of strength. Matter of fact, when you look at the other 25, you can see another trend that it's a little bit worrisome. It's down the road, but you can see chances for formations also over here going about the Bahamas. But what you need to watch out for is these sneaky waves. So the more that the dust weakens these waves, the more it's not going to do a sharp turn into Atlantic, the more it's going to travel further towards the west. And we're hinting at that over here in these ensembles, and it starts growing that it could go further into the Caribbean and maybe pose a late formation threat not only on Texas, but over here in the Gulf. And this is showing multiple waves could stay weak and go into that direction. You see that? And you can see it starts trending more and more of these ensembles that these waves are going further towards the west, everybody. But make sure you click that bell and select all and follow along for the updates because you will hear it first here. And you can see here from your latest data from your potential velocity anomaly that once we get around the 15th towards the 20th, we do have favorable environment that's going to be in our region where something could form up, and this will be potentially late formation. When you see them strong coming off the MDR, you're going to see it like this all the way across. So we do need to watch out for late formation first in the middle of the month, and then as we go towards later in the month into September, it's going to open up. Now, real quick, let's go through our severe weather because you do have some strong storms for today. For yesterday, you can see we did get over 40 wind damage and wind gust reports. And showing you could get some squall lines, everybody. So as we go through today, you can look at your vorticity. As we have this big high pressure of heat that's building over here, these storms are riding around the ridge, bringing that around towards Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. This is where you can get those squall lines, while you're also getting that shortwave trough that is bringing storms further towards the south and the southeast as you go through for today into tomorrow, making it stronger for tomorrow, while you get these squall lines potentially coming around that ridge. Also for tomorrow, you could see more squall lines coming around that ridge, while you get another shortwave trough over here in the Pacific Northwest, and this is going to bring more storms and severe weather towards northwest, and as it goes further towards the east, it's going to be towards north central as well. So for today, you can see a thunderstorm in any of this green area. You do have a tornado threat. It is a 2%. And so far, here's your cities in Texas at risk for a potential tornado. But you're also going to have the wind threat, which will include maybe some dry storms over here for the northwest. So here's your cities and states at risk for damaging winds for today. And your hail threat will be significant. That means at least 2 inches in diameter in this black hatched area, plus the dry storms over here for the northwest. So here's your cities and states at risk for possible hail for today. Now you can see for all morning long, you have some strong storms that's shooting down for Oklahoma, maybe even reaching northern Texas. Let's bring in some strong winds with that as well. I'm sure a lot of people out there could verify for that. But as you go through later this afternoon, this is where you get some storms built up over the southeast. That will be overnight, but getting some potential squall lines coming through for Oklahoma and northern Texas. That could be very fast movers, but at the same time, it could bring a quick gust of wind. So be aware of that. And as you go by for tomorrow morning, as you get that deeper trough towards the southeast, this is where you get some more storms building up. So this could ramp up your severe weather a little bit more for tomorrow, for chances for damage and winds, chances for hail as well. But then you get some more ridge riders that comes around from the northwest, that comes all the way around for the central plains and the north central, where you get some more squall lines popping up. So we do have an active weather pattern for today and for tomorrow. Showing your strong winds that you had this morning, moving through also for Kansas, going through Oklahoma, 40, 50 miles per hour wind gusts, even some pockets of 60 in there. But as you go overnight into early morning hours, those squall lines is going to bring chances for 60, even 70 miles per hour wind gusts in those. For western Texas, also for northern Texas, maybe even the DFW area. So please be aware of overnight squall lines that could come across, bring you a lot of winds. And as we go through Monday, you're going to see more of this going around that high ridge, bringing more threats for damage and winds, all the way from Montana, eastern Wyoming, Colorado, South Dakota, Nebraska, maybe even western Kansas. This is all 40 miles per hour wind gusts in the green, 50 in the orange, 60 in the red, and 70 in the brown. Now, so far, this is not a threat for tornadoes. This is for Monday. This will be for wind and hail. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for severe weather for Monday, for tomorrow. And for Tuesday, I believe we could see a slight risk in this marginal for severe weather. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for Tuesday. And as you go through this week, this is going to bring some storms towards the north central, the Midwest, but a lot of heavy rainfall still along the southeast. You can see the amount of heavy rainfall that's coming in. Over here for Louisiana, going towards the Carolinas, including Tennessee, you have 2 to 3 inches with a big pocket of 4 to 5 inches gathering up for the Florida Panhandle, southern Alabama, central and southern Georgia. Now, a quick word from our sponsor, everybody. Me. So this is our app that we have going on. So remember, the links are in the description. The app's about to post. It's all ready to go live. So links are in the description. You fill out this information. You'll get alerted to when the app goes live. You don't need to put your phone number, but just put your information. Also, some special features that's coming with this, everybody. So the main owners, Eric and Casey, they putting out a GoFundMe to help launch this app. We want the best possible outcome with this app. If you never heard about this, this is going to be all about helping other people. You're not going to see no political agenda. You're not going to see none of that junk on this app. Now, I will be on this app, but this app is going to be a lot about homesteading and helping other peoples. So any kind of information that you will need, you will find it on this app. I won't be the only channel that is on this app. Now, this app has been a long time in the making, everybody. We wanted to make it as good as possible, make it a great community. It's not just going to be about a weather forecast. It's going to be a community of people just like you have on other social media apps. Now, please go click on this just for the sake of praying for us. We can take all the prayers to help launch this app. But if you can give anything to help this app get launched with the best case scenario, there's a lot of features down below that the owners are going to give you all year long just for helping. You can also find this link in the description of the video. I will pin it in the comments as well. Thank you again to everyone that helps us launch this app. We do want the best case scenario for this app. It is going to be about helping others. Now, usually those scenarios get swept right under the rug, everyone. So please help shine some light to this app and help us get launched. Thank you again to everyone that can help, and thank you for everyone that sends prayers. Now, before I go, a quick word from our Father, everybody. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Amen. I hope you all have a very great day out there today. I will keep you updated on all these top stories that I told you about here today in this video. Above all things, remember, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you soon.